Alright guys, so this video is just going to be about post-op experience, nothing to do really with foods. Kinda though, in a way. But so post-op experience after it became soft foods and regular solid foods, all the way up to 3 months, right before I went to Puerto Rico. I was losing the weight, so to me, I didn't really notice that I was like making the same choices before surgery. And when I say that, I mean I was still making sure whatever I was choosing off of takeout menus, like fast food, was under the rule was 621. So 6 grams of fat or less, 6 grams of sugar or less, and then the trans and saturated would be 2 and 1, so 621 on the label, and it should be the same for the sugar, 621 as total and then added as well. So I made sure I looked at all the labels, I followed that, and then also with the portions I knew that I wasn't going to be consuming if it was a little bit higher also, because I wasn't going to be eating not even half, maybe like I said, a couple of bites, 4 bites, 2 bites full type thing. But and the maximum fat, she said, don't go any higher than 9 grams. So I followed the rules we were given. It was just that mindset of constantly eating out. It wasn't like it was nutrient dense foods. Like I was making sure it was something protein, which is usually some kind of meat, you know, that kind of thing. But I mean, it's still, I guess, that bad thing of like, oh, it's fast food, it's all bad for you. No, I'm not saying that, because now, especially now, and I'll do another video where I actually meet with my dietitian and explain the rules that I follow now at 4 months to 8 months, all the rules I follow now, and it has to do with carbs. Carbs are your friend. Carbs is energy. That's why I was dying before. That's why I was not dying, but why I was so tired. I was getting up and going to the gym, and after work, and I was working out, I was doing that, but I would get really tired, and I kept thinking it was because of hydration. I was like, oh, I'm not getting enough water, I'm working out, I should be getting more water than what I'm supposed to be getting, and I'm barely getting that water, so that's why I'm so tired, because I'm dehydrated. But it was truly because I wasn't getting any grains or starches to count for the energy carb. So yeah. So the choices I was making was all low carbs, because it was like in lettuce, or it was in a bowl, meat with no bun type of thing. But yeah, the experience, I mean, I had no issues. Like I said, the only thing was with the chicken thighs, everything was going really good, except for I just had the bad habit of not knowing how to pack and be prepared and that concept. So yeah, so I did share a lot of those fast foods, but that's what I took pictures of, and so when I go back and scroll through, that's what I recall. I was still doing smoothies, and I was still doing yogurt, and I was still doing the like the genepro and the smoothie and the shakes, but the protein shakes was harder for me to palate. I really thought all protein shakes were really gross until about like February, where I finally started to tolerate it a little better. And because of that, if the smoothie, like if I didn't have berries or something like that, or I had the smoothie and like later in the day, instead of drinking smoothies all day, I was like, let me try to get it in by eating foods, and then I'd eat 2 bites and couldn't get my protein in anyway. So, you know, it was just really figuring out what worked for me. So it wasn't that like okay, like the Five Guys, that was crazy. That was like dirty keto, like, because that's like high fat, you know, that's a fatty meal. But again, I was only having 2 bites of it type thing. So my relationship with food has completely changed throughout this whole journey. When I look back to doing these videos for you guys, when I look back of all my notes that I wrote down in my calendar and all the pictures that I have, I'm like, wow, I've changed so much, I've grown so much, and I'm proud of myself. I don't think that eating out or taking out or buying food that is considered unhealthy for you is bad. I finally understand the concept of moderation. So if I want it, I'll eat it. and I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel guilty. If I don't feel like working out, I won't work out. I struggle with that a little bit, where I'm like, oh, I should be working out type thing. But some days my dehydration, I don't want to get to the point where I have to be hospitalized. I just have to listen to my body and know, like, all right, you got to take it easy. You got to push to get your water in. And then when you're feeling better, then you can get back to working out and you'll be 100%. So, but my relationship has changed where I now, and it happened, I want to thank the quarantine, definitely, Corona. It really helped me, because at that point I was still coming to work. We were getting positive results. The union was fighting whether or not we were going to be closed, and these people were still coming into work that were spreading it to other people. And I was scared to go to the break room. I was scared to go to the car and be around people. So I just stayed at my desk. So, and I knew I had to have meals, so I was incorporating more packed meals. And then when the actual coronavirus hit strongly, where my job was paying us full time, but we only were coming in the building every other day, that helped too, because I was like, oh, I definitely don't want to be around any of these motherfuckers. You know, like I was, you know, my doctor said that I was considered more vulnerable because of my lab results, because they weren't 100%. I was more vulnerable to it. So there was a lot of people at my job that didn't take it serious, and were very vocal about not taking serious and taking masks. And there's people still coming in sneezing and coughing everywhere, to the point where they had to send an email out like, stay home. If you are having symptoms and they're persistent, every 2 minutes, someone coughing and sneezing every 2 minutes, then you're gonna be sent home. So it helped me in a good way, and I'm getting better and better. And now it's to the point, after meeting with my dietitian, where it's like, now I know that I need it to be more nutrient dense. I need it to be like satisfying, where it's gonna keep my body fuller for longer, so I go 3 or 4 hours. And to the point now on Instagram, I post what I eat in a day, and I show you guys how many calories it is, because sometimes you look at it and be like, damn, that bitch be eating. But when you break down the actual macros to it, you can have, sorry about that, you can have a lot of good foods and it still be good for you. Like, you can have a lot of healthy foods and it still look yummy, and it be healthy, and it fit your goals. So, and that's what I think, that's what I know I'm striving to be. I definitely, like, I'm a foodie at heart. I've always loved food, but it's even more fun to me now, because I can crave something and then I'm looking for a way to make it a healthier version, and then I'm finding products and things that are healthy, that taste good. So it's become really fun for me, and it's motivating. The Instagram page, for me, it motivates me to help do better for myself. So yeah, so it was mind-blowing to see. That was a reality check, and I'm very, very thankful that I'm not how I used to be at the beginning of the stage. But it was crazy to go ahead and review all that information just to do these videos to catch up. So yeah, that's just an overview of how I feel post-op and how that went for me. And I'm gonna go ahead, the next video is gonna be Puerto Rico, what it was like in Puerto Rico at 3 months on vacation. All right, guys.